said. It made a lot of sense, and I really feel like he understood a lot, you know. And I'll answer his Marvel questions. I guess I'll answer his other ones, I guess, personally. He said, you talked about your intense MVC2 practice habits. In particular, the long hours you put in a training mode with a programmable pad, as well as you're taking difficult compositions and repeating them as many times as necessary to advance as a musician. Could you share any other strategies that have benefited you to improving in either discipline? In particular, if there's a certain mindset that has helped you. Do you ever have to force yourself to turn off the TV to practice games or music? Or is it something that just comes naturally because you enjoy it and want to do well? I don't have to turn off the TV so I can do game and music. I have to stop doing game and music to watch TV, to get into anything else. A lot of times I kind of struggle to connect with people, even, you know, because I'm just wrapped up into my thing. I'm connected to the people that are doing this thing that I'm doing. So for instance, one of my only buddies I've been kicking it with lately is Knives, because he plays Marvel. So every weekend he comes up and he plays Marvel, and so we'll kick it then. Meanwhile, all my other friends have kind of been on the back burner. When I find something that I'm into it, and that's what I'm doing. Like right now, I'm in the League of Legends. I'm playing that game like crack. It's bad. That's what I do. So you know what I mean? Like I'm new to the game, and that's what I'm really focused on. So to be honest, I'd have to turn off League of Legends to do anything else. I do uninstall League of Legends on days when I know like there's tournaments coming up, so that I can't play the game. So I'll force myself to play Marvel and things like that. But no, those long hours, that's what I do. I wanna be the best. Mindset that I have going into gaming in general, into anything in general. I tell myself I'm horrible at everything. You know, when I want to pick up a game, I'm telling myself I'm the worst player there is, and that gives me motivation because I want to be the best. I tell myself that I can be the best and I want to be the best, but right now I'm horrible. And so that gives me motivation. I should be in training mode. I should be studying. I should be watching match videos. I should be reading the threads. I want to figure out all the information. And by me doing that, I practice and I practice. And everyone else will tell me I'm good long before I even convince myself, before I even believe that I'm good. Because after a while, telling myself I'm horrible so much, I believe it. And so every time I win, I'm shocked. Like, oh man, I can't believe I beat this person. Whereas everyone else is like, what? Of course you could beat this person. And I'm like, oh man, I didn't expect it. And then once I get better and better, eventually, I'm not gonna lie to myself. Eventually it's like, okay, I'm decent now. I'm pretty good now. But I never tell myself I'm the best, because then I'll get lazy. Once you master something, what are you working towards, you know? So I guess that's it. I always keep telling myself there's somewhere else to get to. For instance, in Marvel 3 right now, if I'm losing rounds, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be losing a round. I shouldn't be losing a character. I should be perfecting every match. My team is that good. So if I'm getting hit, that means I'm making mistakes. If I'm making mistakes, I got somewhere to improve. So I better keep at it, you know? Question 2, what kind of mindset psychology approach has helped you to do well in high pressure matches? Are you an emotional player, or are you more likely to win by relaxing and analyzing the fight more intellectually? I'm not an emotional player at all. I'm a complete intellectual player. Let me take that back. I am an emotional player on some occasions. You piss me off, and then I'm playing you and I want to destroy you. And in those cases, once I've started to beat you very convincingly, I want to do resets. I want to style on you. I want to make you look bad. In that way, I can say I'm emotional. But if I'm playing competitively, like just in a tournament setting where I need to win, I think I only make logical decisions. Like I try my best to eliminate all tilt. I'm not going to say I'm frustrated and therefore I'm giving up. I'm going to say this is the smartest thing to do and I'm going to go for that, you know? I think most of the matches already played out, you know? The game is kind of solved already, you know? We'll get new information and start doing different things, but for now, the game is pretty much solved to some degree. So you don't even have to think as much when you're playing. You just go off of your experience and you know, let the matchup play out the way it's supposed to. So I would say I'm totally intellectual. I don't let the nerves and stuff get to me most of the time, except for at Devastation. I heard Maximilian talking about how he learned to parry by thinking of the necessary input as musical rhythms, and I started thinking about the relationship between music and fighting games. Not long after I started playing. Time, rhythm, precision, creativity, and knowledge of the system you're working in pretty much define both. What do you think? Knowledge of the system you're working with, that is key. I am a studier, you know. I mean, I know my engines. That's something that I pride myself on. You know, you're not going to present something to me and say, hey, why is this working? And I don't know why it's working. And if I don't know why it's working, I'm going to study that aspect of the engine and figure out why it's working. So when I'm playing, I shouldn't run into situations that I shouldn't run into situations that I'm not prepared for, that I don't know the answer to. And if I do, I'm going to make a mental note, and next time I won't run into that situation. Case in point, Evo, you know, that Evo moment with Combo Fiend. We'll actually include the clip there too. That Evo moment with Combo Fiend. Here I am, I'm playing the game. He does X Factor, and I think he does Bionic Arm to my Storm. He's doing a Bionic Arm to my Storm. I'm push blocking. I want to counter into Sentinel and do a Hyper Sentinel Force. We'll do a clip of that actually. I want to do that, but it doesn't come out. Instead, you know, Sentinel just jumps out as an assist. Now, the reason why I was so panicked and wanted to do that in the first place was because Storm's life didn't exist. It was gone. So this next move is supposed to kill me. When I push blocked, when you push block, if you notice, it noticeably reduces the amount of chip you take. It erases every other attack. When you push block, the next attack is null and void. It doesn't chip you at all, which I don't think most people realize. I didn't realize this at the time. So when I got chipped by this Bionic Arm, my character didn't die. Storm was still there. So once that happened, I froze up because I'm like, I got an E sign. Like, you know, in the calculator, when you put in something it doesn't compute, it puts that E up there. I got an E now, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm frozen because I can't understand what's happening. So I'm trying to gather what's going on in the machine. I don't punish Combo Fiend. I don't do anything because I'm trying to gather what's happening on the screen right now because it shouldn't have happened. But if I had known that, then I would have been like, oh, push block the attack right before the Bionic Arm, don't take any chip, punish Bionic Arm, game over. You know what I mean? You have to know your engine. It makes all the difference. There's plenty of times where I know something about the engine that my opponent doesn't know, and I exploit it and win. That is key. Precision and things like that just comes from timing. Maybe I have better timing from, you know, all those years of piano. Maybe I have better time. I definitely probably have better timing from, you know, all those years of 2DX. But you know, you have to just practice your engine. I sit in training mode so much, and you'll notice I'm not a deity. You know, if I'm playing and I haven't been training, I drop combos all the time. Like I told Noel Brown. Noel Brown said to me outside of Wednesday Night Fights, he was like, yo, you have to uninstall League of Legends. You know, I'm like, well, I didn't have a pad this week. You know, that's why I lost. And he said, no, you were dropping combos all last week. You don't drop combos. You're playing League of Legends. You need to stop. You know what I mean? But just because I hadn't been, you know. But once I got back into training mode, I went the next Wednesday Night Fights and I went undefeated. Training mode, you need to practice, and then the timing and all that stuff is second nature. You don't drop combos when you know you've practiced at it long enough. So, yeah, that's a real thing. A music question: do you have absolute/perfect pitch? If so, what is your experience with that? If not, WTF? I do have perfect pitch. Yeah, I guess I was just born with that, you know. The way I even found out I had it, we were doing this tape when I was, you know, 13. We were with my church group, and my uncle, he knew I played the piano. And he knew I was gifted musically, I guess, and he has a harmonica, or he has a tuner with him, and he uses that to tune it. I mean, to tell us what key we're singing in. It was a big choir group, whatever, and he didn't have his tuner with him at the time, and so he asks me like, hey, well, give me an A. And so I'm like, I don't know. He's like, just give me what you think is an A. And so I give him what I think is an A. And so it's like, okay, so we're singing it on that. And then luckily the person at the studio had a keyboard, and so then it's like, oh, here's an A, and it was actually the key that we had been singing in. So I guess from there I determined, oh, I guess I have perfect pitch. And you know, I play piano by ear, so it comes in handy, I guess, because you know, whatever I hear I can play. And it's just the way I was gifted, I guess. So it comes in handy, I guess, very much for me.